captain pick for Team Solo Mid after the Churnwalker.
I'm loving the captain pick also here, just because you're going up against a Black Feather, so you want to save your last pick for the carry role, so that you're able to counter the Black Feather, whether it's going to go to the jungle as a CP or to the lane as weapon power.
We'll have to see what they are going to go for here alongside this Black Feather. Very versatile pick, fits into just about any composition. But having taken that Rona off the board, they're going to be feeling a little bit safer about the situation. With Rhyme gone as well, I wouldn't be surprised to see them trying to lock in a brawler composition themselves. But the thing is, so many of those picks are already off the table.
One thing that's still open that no one has noticed is the Koshka. Usually teams ban it away from T-Tigers just because they know how strong he is on that hero. So he could pick it up. That will definitely give him a stronger matchup throughout the early game. At the same time, though, the Koshka is a little bit risky, because if she doesn't snowball too hard, she does get outskilled.
And it is an option, but they are going to grab the Batiste. Now, do they finish off with the Catherine and go back to the old Catherine-Batiste combo and try and just shut down Team Solo Mid that way? It'll be interesting to see, because there are still other power picks available in terms of the captains. You know, Arden is still there. It is going to be the Arden selection, so the Batiste can still do a lot of work in terms of, especially with the double gauntlets, you know, fearing someone into the gauntlet walls can end up with a lot of lockdown as well.
Kestrel is still open, but the more likely pick is going to be the Vox to counter this triple melee composition coming out from Tribe. However, Vox has a short range, and to be able to deal damage to Batiste, you need to get in range for his bad mojo. So it's going to be more on what Best Chuck feels comfortable with to play versus this triple melee that Tribe has went for.
And they're going to need to pick something that they're very confident in, because as we mentioned earlier, if Team Solo Mid does not win this, you look at the other half of the bracket, and Rogue has a much easier matchup on paper for themselves. So Team Solo Mid need to get themselves in the finals, very likely, if they want to keep pace with Rogue.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything is on the line right now for Team Solo Mid. They're going to lock in that Kestrel, something we know Best Chuck NA is comfortable on. Best Chuck NA, I think, one of the widest hero pools of the carries in North America. How are we feeling about these compositions? I've got a Batiste going through here from Tribe. Yeah. Something a little bit less meta, but definitely something we do see fairly often.
And we talked about it. It works against the Alpha because you actually are able to outduel her in the early game because of your empowerment. And then later on with the Ordains and the Fearsome Shade, you can push her away when her ultimate comes out, so you avoid the damage. For me, it's all about how TSM are going to be able to protect this Kestrel, because if they're not able to, if they don't use the portals, they don't use the sustain to keep her alive, Tribe will come through with this game.
We could see that coming on through. Tribe had a tremendous game one of this series, and they'll be looking to try and replicate that coming into game two. It's time to jump on into this one. Hashtag Vainglory. Let us know who you think is going to be taking this series. Can TSM push this to the full 3 games, or is it going to Tribe? It's time to find out as we pass it back to Humanist and Dowsy.
Well, that's right. Game 2 between Tribe and TSM. A huge matchup here. TSM getting wrecked in game 1. Dowsy, can they come back here?
I think they can, but it's going to be a difficult task. This composition from Tribe is very good into what TSM has drafted. It's not usual that we see teams outdrafting TSM in such a way, but I guess you could say that Cloud9 also outdrafted TSM yesterday, and look what happened there. So it's not an impossibility, Humanist, that TSM are out for the running, but you know, the Batiste very good into Alpha, also low-key really good into Kestrel as well. Limits her strength, which is the mobility when in active camo, unless she has a reflex block to escape. And if she does use that reflex block to escape a Ordained, then there's a gauntlet to come down, and probably 2 of them, knowing Max Green and how much he likes Echo.
Oh, eventually, if the game goes that long, there definitely will be 2 gauntlets dropping down. And you got to imagine, I mean, even if Flash picks up his Crucible, that's going to be coming through for the Fearsome Shade. So it's going to be Best Chuck forced to grab that reflex rather early in this game, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how early that is and whether or not there's a lead for Tribe built up because of it. You see a bit of action in the lane as the minion candy goes down via Dienzio. Double melee into double range means that if they can push the wave in as quickly as possible, then they don't have to take too much damage. The Book of Eulogies kind of a little bit less weaker, a little bit more weaker than it used to be, making the melee matchup a little bit more threatening. Not so threatening when you have an Iron Guard contract. Max Green can keep Dienzio nice and healthy. Bonzi in the jungle's found T-Tigers.
Yeah, well, who's found who here? Tiggs. He's ready to play some games. Max Green was dropping down with Zeo as well. That's Chuck. He starts up on the Elder Treant, and he's actually... No, it's Vainglory that grabs it. Prime Directive off the mark. Max will throw Vanguard onto Zeo. Zeo right back to lane, and TSM thinking about making an invade here. T-Tigers kind of like... Just playing games. He absolutely juked him out, and he's found Best Chuck here. Best Chuck, you're in a bad place. I think this is going to be a dead Kestrel. And there you go. First blood going to Tribe. Looking for more. Vainglory doing a pretty good amount of damage. Where's the healing coming out of Flash? It's on cooldown. That's the infinite reboot. Vainglory's down. 2 kills to Tribe. Very good start.
Really good start for Tribe. We saw how devastating that Ordained is to Kestrel in the early game, and really it's going to continue being that devastating throughout the entirety of this game until reflex blocks are purchased. Not only that, we get to see once more this weapon power alpha into the... Sorry, weapon power Black Feather into the alpha, in the fact that the execute damage from Dienzo just does so much when she's rebooting. Has 0 HP. If there's any Heartthrob stacks on top of that, then it's just a ridiculous burst that Dienzo can output, and will make Vainglory's termination protocols have to kill someone, or else he will die, or has a very good chance of dying whilst rebooting.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of burst potential coming out of Tribe. And I imagine, though, that they're going to be looking for Kestrel through these fights. But if Vainglory presents himself, they will likely take that tasty little snack. Speaking of Vainglory, he's dipping into the jungle of Tribe once again. He's not going to find anything. And with that, maybe he'll move up in the lane, or he's just back over to his side.
The thing about Vainglory...
Well, they're on the best shot! Are you serious? I thought, Zeo, you're really going to go in on that. Oh, big damage coming the way. Best Chuck finding the stun. Flash X finding the damage. Zeo jumps forward with the Feint of Heart. It's the on-point landing here. Zeo, he's pretty durable. Can he find the damage to take down Flash? He's absorbing this damage from the turn. He finds the kill. He'll go down. And right back behind him in the lane, Vainglory trading with T-Tigers. Ordained is down. Vainglory's going to wait for that to time out. And I wouldn't be surprised, especially at the pace of this game, if he was going to dive, but he's going to hold off on that. Well, there's the Prime Directive in. Vanguard onto T-Tigers. Max Green's here to back him up. Vainglory has that infinite reboot. He'll jump forward. Core charge onto T-Tigers. Right down into the infinite reboot, and it looks like they're... No, he's probably going to reboot here. Best Chuck's move forward. Best Chuck, he can apply a lot of damage. You got to be careful, Tribe. Zeo moving forward with the Feint of Heart, has the movement speed on point over the top side, but the Sigil allows Vainglory to get back. I think this fountain out of Flash, keeping him alive. Bulwarks down, Flash trying to control Tribe. Max Green, though, so incredibly tanky. He didn't even use his healing flash there. Zeo, he's in onto Best Chuck. This is Black Feather just destroying Kestrel. He's so good at it. Chuck turns it around, but a Feint of Heart is going to put Best Chuck into the dirt. These teams back and forth here, Dowsey.
That was like a minute-long fight. I'm surprised that only one person lost their life in it, and out of all people, it was the Kestrel going down. Try and find another kill for themselves, but they need to start turning these kills into advantages. We saw yesterday Cloud9, very good at finding kills, but they didn't do much with their macro play, and if you're not doing anything macro on the board, then you're not winning the game. TSM, when behind, very good at executing off any advantage given to them, so you cannot give them an inch. But currently, Tribe showcasing the strength of their composition. It's always going to be superior to TSM in these straight-up brawls where everyone just goes at each other here, Humanist. So TSM are going to have to find inventive ways to win these team fights. It's really going to rely on great captain play from Flash X and great distraction play from Vainglory. Best Chuck and A is just going to have to kind of sit along for the ride and do his best.
Ooh, on point misses. Chuck right into the active camo right off the bat. T-Tigers has made his way up into the lane. He is level 6, has that ultimate ready to go. Vainglory has his as well, but he's not currently up in the lane. Tribe, they shove that lane forward. They're going to drop down into the jungle as 3. They'll find Vainglory. I don't know if they're going to chase. Ordained is down, but Vainglory rather tanky. That's right next to the Crystal Sentry. Not a great fight. Zeo jumps onto Flash. It kind of feels like Tribe want to drop to shop or something, but they're just not allowing TSM to move towards them at all.
Yeah, and that's also the other thing, is that they're not allowing TSM to go to shop either. Not really too much to buy for TSM at this point. 1,000 gold for Best Chuck and A, he'll go Monocle second, but needs to get that reflex block soon, because Max Green is getting towards his gauntlet point. Vainglory finally finishing that Aftershock means that his power is ready to go, but T-Tigers finished a very early Shatterglass, and this is because Vainglory prioritized that heavy Prism just to give him a bit of extra bang for his buck once that Aftershock was completed. means that T-Tigers and Vonsi very similar in their ability to output damage at the moment. There is now a gauntlet for Max Green. You can see Flash X this time has decided to prioritize a Crucible as his second item. Going to be very useful to get Best Chuck to safety.
Zio, he gets stunned up, but it doesn't even matter. He's locked on to Best Chuck like a heat-seeking missile. Healing Flask and a Vanguard Rose offensive over the top just for style points. Actually, Vonsi rotating up with Prime Directive. The Gauntlet stuns him right on top. What a gauntlet.
Oh, wow.
Fearsome Shade coming through as well. This is Tribe really playing aggressively here.
Nice Fearsome Shade from T-Tigers to actually force Vonsi out of the turret. He's very tanky and has a Lyra next to him. I kind of told you in draft, I was a little bit surprised that TSM didn't pick up the Arden when the Black Feather was locked in. I kind of feel like you need to secure an Arden most of the time when Black Feather is on the opposite team because of his ability to just do so much burst. When you have an Arden, it kind of negates his power. But when the Arden's with the Black Feather, he's almost unkillable. Currently, we're seeing that Dienzo can just turret dive Best Chuck and A, who has a healer, giving him heals, providing heal. It just doesn't matter. Dienzio can just jump in and out, has movement speed from the Vanguard, and Best Chuck and A really is lost for words.
This is incredibly entertaining. Zio, one of the most talented players in the world. People talk about his life buff, but I mean, this guy just has another gear that he can shift into, and it feels like he's in top gear right now.
That's because he's recognized that they are getting closer and closer to their goal here, Humanist, of making it to Singapore. Wouldn't that be such an amazing story for Tribe, you know, who at the Summer Unified Live Championships took down TSM in a massive upset back when I believe they were under the Immortals branding.
Right.
And now they have the chance to upset even more. They were to take down TSM in these semi-finals, move to the finals, face up against Rogue, and then take down... Well, I say Rogue, I assume it's Rogue because it's the matchup. That's perhaps a little bit biased of me.
Just kidding. Zio lands the on-point. Bulwarks down, Flash controlling the movement from Tribe. Zio getting lit up. He really wants Best Chuck. Actually, he has so much sustain. Look at this. Zio's going to be able to take down the Kestrel. Now looking for more. Vonsi's low. He still has his ultimate available and ready to go. Tribe, they get right onto the turret here. Not really caring too much about TSM. TSM doing their best to defend. This is the Termination Protocol, but he misses the Prime Directive. Zio right back in. The Vanguard onto the Black Feather, and they take the Alpha down. Flash X next to go. Arcane Passage buying a little bit of time with the Healing Flask as well. Does Zio really want this? His team will take the turret down. He targets it right as it bursts, and Tribe will go ahead and back up out of this one. Tribe, a very strong advantage about 10 minutes in.
Oh, they are so far in the lead, and the momentum that they've been able to carry through from their first game here is just unstoppable. Team Solo mid, they're trying their best to weather the storm, but there is just no shelter for them. Now a clockwork for Team Tigers. This is such an important power spike for the Batiste. Allows him, when he is empowered on his Reap, his heroic perk, to throw 2 bad mojos out, which gives him extra burst damage, and also allows for those Ordains to be up even quicker. That prison that Best Chuck and A is currently having to deal with. Best Chuck, he's going to finish off that monocle, and I have to think that a reflex block is next in line on his build. 0, 5, and 1, he's just not had any relief so far. That Crucible is there for Flash X, has to be used to keep Best Chuck alive, and Vonsi really needs to get to a point where he is able to lay down some threat onto Dienzio and keep Best Chuck safe, trying his best to poke out.
That's TSM applying a little bit of pressure here. Fearsome Shade will come through, disrupting TSM just a touch. Everybody stacking on the T-Tigers, and he has the splash damage to come through. Best Chuck down. Vonsi trying to make some hero plays. Flash wants to back him up, but at the same time, Flash is in danger. Vonsi dropping low. There's the Termination Protocol is going to come out. A little bit of splash damage, but nothing the Tribe are scared of as they find 2 more kills. Continuing to build on the net worth lead, building up their overall stats for VG Pro as well, and Tribe just taking everything.
I just have to praise Hot Sauce's drafting. You know, today, yesterday, Tribe have just looked so good with the compositions that is being brought into the mix. And I know Hot Sauce has kind of been a bit of an unsung hero ever since the Summer Live Championships. Doesn't really get the credit he deserves, but has definitely been able to put Tribe in a position where they just have compositions that favor win conditions that are so easy to connect with and meet, and Tribe are able to really take value from that. They are looking so good, and Team Solomid don't really have too many options to win their game. Best Chuck and A is getting stuck in the middle of team fights. He's not able to escape here, Humanist, meaning that the major amount of damage, this Kestrel that the Best Chuck is playing, is not really being able to do anything. He's getting taken down so easily by the triple melee, and when you're in melee range of a Batiste, that is not a place you want to be, especially as well, of course, as this Black Feather. He has decided the best defense is offense. Got himself a Minion's Foot and a Infusion. It has to be very impactful, this Infusion. Such a massive gold investment at this stage of the game when you're so far behind. TSM really starting to fall apart in this game.
Really starting to fall apart indeed. You see Best Chuck just slipping away a nice active camo there to be elusive. Fonzie doing his best to clear his jungle. He's made the rotation up though. There's the stun. Fearsome Shade cancels off the aggression. Just when it looked like TSM maybe had an opportunity, Max throws the gauntlet, they can't run through it, and Fearsome Shade makes them run the other way.
And not only that, he has himself the Echo Max Green here, so there's a second gauntlet ready to go. TSM, hope they've seen that on the tab screen, because otherwise that is a nasty surprise, the second gauntlet coming out. Man, look at the lead in CS that DNZero has over Best Chuck and A. 112 creeps to the 93, a 20 CS lead in the lane. If each CS is worth 40, that is a ridiculous amount of gold that DNZero has already got over his opponent. Able to just build into so much defense and so much offense on this Black Feather. Best Chuck and A is really far behind.
TSM maybe trying to fight here. Maybe they didn't see that he has the Echo. We can see another gauntlet come down. There you go. Look at, he throws out the reflex, so it's not canceled off at all. A beautiful play. Fearsome Shade blocked out by TSM. Now the chase is on. Max Green dropping low. TSM, I don't know if it's target you want. Best Chuck, they're able to focus him down. The healing comes through. They've traded, taking Best Chuck, traded for Max Green. And now Tribe will chase on to Von C. That is the secondary target here, of course. And Ordained down Von C. He's going to go ahead and throw that Prime Directive out, but it'll stay in place. Crystal Sentry doing work here. They're dropping low, but of course Tribe will come through finding the kills, and Flash X, just a matter of time. Style points once again. Fearsome Shade coming through. Zio finding the kill and an ace for Tribe.
You know, it's so easy to kick someone when they're down here, but TSM, Von C's build, a broken myth on this alpha when behind. He really needed to get that Dragon's Eye. Just does so much more work when you're on a 2 crystal power item build with the Aftershock. The Dragon's Eye, it synergizes so well, one with Alpha's kit. She has to be in melee range to do damage, so that means she's continuously stacking up that Dragon's Eye. Through the Broken Myth, it doesn't actually provide too much extra damage. Of course, when the shielding is there and DNZero has rushed an Aegis, it will pierce through that and provide actually a substantial amount of buff to damage because of that pierce. But Dragon's Eye is just categorically a better second item for Alpha, and so it doesn't help TSM that not only are they behind on gold, but actually the item builds aren't super optimal for their scenario. Best Chuck and A has finished his second monocle. It's a really big portion of damage now available to him. He has that O card in inventory. He will be going towards a reflex block for himself. We'll have to see if TSM can burst someone down. We saw in the last fight, they tried to focus down Max Green of all people. Really didn't work out in favor of them.
They kind of got debated in. It was just like, you see a target dropping low, you're way behind. I guess you're going to try and make the kill happen. Zio frontlining on all three of TSM, just throwing on points down. They land. He's able to trade. Faint of heart, a little movement speed, but Vonsi's ready to fight. Max Green gauntlet over the wall. Fearsome Shade blocked off, but a second gauntlet will come down, stunning up Vonsi here. Best Chuck dropping low. Best is just deleted. In fact, Max Green will take that kill. Termination protocol. Oh, this is an error happening here as TSM will go down. Another ace for Tribe. And TSM fans starting to hide here in chat.
Yeah, no, it's been the Tribe show here, and unfortunately for Best Chuck and when the Crucible was activated by Flash X to not only get himself out of the gauntlet, but block up the Fearsome Shade team wide. An excellent usage of the Crucible, blocking 2 major ultimates. Best Chuck decided to stand his ground inside the gauntlet, and that just gave Max Green the perfect echo opportunity to lay down an overlap, which meant Best Chuck wasn't moving anywhere. Flash X couldn't save him from that point, and the reflex block for Best Chuck and A still hasn't come through yet, so he wasn't able to escape. This is such good play from Tribe, once more just executing perfectly, and TSM haven't really met expectations against Tribe. Usually their team fighting ability, shot calling in the thick of the moment is second to none, but right now they don't look themselves whatsoever, and Tribe are hungry for points. They are hungry to eliminate the chances of someone else going to Singapore over themselves. It's a tough route for Tribe. It's not an easy one that they have a lot of ground to make up in just a weekend. I guess you could call this a half humanist, but right now they're doing an excellent job of taking down one of the best teams in North America.
It's all for the viewers. They're doing it for the storyline, Dowsy. Maybe the last fight here, Von sees in. The Fearsome Shade cancels off. He can't pop Termination Protocol, and Best Chuck nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Von C probably goes down as well. Can they take him out? Yeah, a little faint of heart, just execute him down. Tribe, they'll throw out the taunts here right at the end. So it looks like they're going to close this one out 18-4, 18 minutes in. What a dominant showing out of this Tribe squad.
Absolutely insane from Tribe. Yesterday when they went up against Nova, it just looked a little bit chaotic from Tribe and Nova as well, but TSM have been crushed by Tribe. They are in their camp now, and Tribe will be our first North American finalists of Week 3 of this second autumn split. How about that? A massive upset here in the semifinals.
Borderline unbelievable. I mean, we know how